Welcome back, everybody. We love a good example of the picnic post NL slash Sunweb team people, staff people being weird. And we have another example.
You want to
All
go
the way
straight
back
in
to-
with this one?
Let's go straight in with this one. I think this
Okay,
is a
okay.
fun one. So Tom Dumoulin, as I mentioned in the intro of this podcast, Tom Dumoulin was not allowed to eat a kiwi. What are we talking about here, Johnny?
Well, the Wheeler Flits article, which tells the story, I don't know where they've got it from. They kind of have kept a lot of details, like the team that Dumoulin was riding for, out of the article. But the article begins, "Life in a straitjacket was not for Tom Dumoulin." And what they mean by that... Oh, sorry, it was a major interview with the Limburg Chapeau magazine, which I can't believe I don't already have a subscription to.
Yeah.
He was on a training camp in Sierra Nevada, and it was they had started like using a dietitian who kind of told them what to cook and whatever. And part of Dumoulin's food that he was allowed that day was an apple, but he thought in his in his right as a man with sovereignty over his body and mind that he didn't actually want to eat an apple. He wanted to eat a kiwi. Which, as you'll recall, is also a fruit. So not probably a million miles genetically from an apple. But he wasn't allowed to. The soigneur was not allowed to go to the supermarket and buy him a kiwi. What happened next? There were multiple Zoom calls with the hierarchy of DSM at that time, before they were a picnic. And he had to beg. And his quote is, "I was sitting in the call as one of the best cyclists begging if I could please eat a kiwi instead of an apple." So it's not surprising maybe to see the depths where Picnic personnel find themselves now from having Tom Dumoulin racing for them. It's also not a surprise maybe that Tom Dumoulin decided there was more to life than riding a bike and not being allowed to eat a kiwi if he wanted to.
When we
What
saw
is
him,
wrong with these people?
when we saw him in the flesh at Scala Prize, one of
Yeah.
the races,
Yeah.
Flanders,
Paris-Roubaix?
maybe Roubaix. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
he looked very happy. We literally watched him eat. I watched him eat a pastry off of a table. He seemed very pleased,
Oh, yes.
and I can imagine that life's a little better now. when
His
you can eat a
pockets were
pastry.
stuffed full of kiwis and he was just gorging on them.
That is actually exactly what we saw. Yeah.
No, I've got an update, not to the story, but with DSM or picnic and fruit.
Yeah.
I for an alternative publication which is not Escape Collective, I recently interviewed Max Poole
Oh, yeah.
and Oscar Onley, and both of them confirmed to you that Max Poole doesn't eat anything red. So red apples, red strawberries, red grapes, anything red he doesn't eat.
God's
So my
sake.
question is, what happens if Max Poole is prescribed a red apple, but he eats a green apple?
Green
Oh
apples.
wow.
What I'm going to say is the sort of mentality where you just write off red fruits entirely means you're going to fit in very well with the nutters at Picnic Post now. Are you allowed to say nutters? Maybe
Yeah.
not. Are you?
Seriously,
Okay,
no,
fine.
but seriously, what's wrong with these people? Like, what
I
is
don't
wrong
know.
with these people?
I don't know.
How on earth can you look at a rider wants to eat a kiwi and say this is not an acceptable thing, and we're gonna have Zoom calls about it?
The other aspect of this that I think makes this so much worse is like if that sort of approach worked, right? Like if
Yeah.
telling people you got to eat this apple and not this kiwi worked, then at least then I could see why they would stick to this regimented approach so close. Even if it is nutty, like I could see, but it doesn't. I mean, the team has not been good in the past few years. They are
No.
staring
No.
down the possibility of relegation right now. I mean, if you ask me, like, to pick right now, which one of them or Astana is going to get relegated, it's looking like Picnic, and they could maybe stand to change things around a little bit.
Well, Astana doesn't eat fruit. They just eat like raw meat that they themselves go out and like kill with a crossbow.
Well, whatever it is, it's going to keep them probably from
I
getting
think
relegated.
I think Picnic personnel, even if they get relegated, they'll do like an internal inquiry and then just decide that they haven't been relegated because it doesn't fit with their like binder of information. Yeah, that's a great story. I can't believe it took the Limburg Chapeau magazine to uncover it, but there we have it.